GM Block Swap Nation. In this video, we will be taking a deep dive into the Index Details monitoring tool. Index Details is the in-house monitoring dashboard for any index or validator in the Stakehouse protocol. Whether you are a home staker, node operator, or LSD network participant, this tool gives you easy access to the on-chain information that you need to effectively analyze, monitor, and optimize your staking yield performance. So, without a further ado, let's dive in. First, let's explore how to navigate to the Index Details page for any index. Once you are connected to the Stakehouse dApp, click on these three dots in the top right corner and select Monitoring. This will take you to the Stakehouse Leaderboards page. From here, simply click on any index to open its Index Details page. As you can see, the first section on the page displays the index dashboard, which contains overview information about the selected index. This information is based on the aggregate data gathered from all the validators within it. You may notice that the index has a higher yield than the Ethereum network rate. This is because DETH earns 33% more than traditional ETH staking alternatives. On the left, you can view the index's total rewards earned, DETH and SaveETH balances, and other details about the index. These are all relevant for the index owner, and more details can be found in the Stakehouse Help Center or documentation. On the right, you can see the index's live yield rate coupled with an interactive yield chart which can be viewed in hourly, daily, or weekly timeframes. This feature is really helpful when comparing an index's performance, which is represented by the green line here, against the open index, which is represented by the yellow line. Node operators can use this as their on-chain publicly verifiable reputation. At the top of the dashboard, you can use the search bar to switch between indexes for quick comparative analysis. Next, you can scroll down to view the index's validator list. In this list, you can compare key performance metrics between the individual validators in the selected index and filter them based on their health status. The current delta represents the real-time difference between a validator's APR and its consensus layer APR. It's important to note that your validator is always earning at the consensus layer APR, even if this is not reflected in the validator's APR. The validator APR simply reflects the APR from the most recent balance report. You can initiate a balance report from the Stakehouse dApp to update the current delta. DETH earned represents the total amount of DETH earned by a validator. You can compare this metric across the validators in the list to identify which validators have produced the most yield in the index thus far. The percent of DETH earned represents the proportion of DETH a validator has earned relative to the other validators in the index. You can compare this metric across the validators in the list to determine how much of an impact each validator has on the index's total yield. The status metric represents the overall health of a validator. Green means nominal, yellow means that it needs attention, and red means that there is an issue. You can use this metric to determine which validators need priority attention and corrective action. If you click on a validator's health status, you will be prompted with the status of each of its health properties. These are the individual factors that contribute to the validator's overall health status. Validator penalties represents the amount of slot tokens that have been leaked or slashed. Consensus layer and execution layer checks if there is a difference between consensus layer and execution layer balances after the most recent balance report. Staking yield received verifies that derivatives minted and the validator balance have not exceeded a 1-to-1 ratio. The transparency into each health property is helpful if you need to troubleshoot an unhealthy validator and identify where you need to take corrective action. You can use the health status filter in the top left corner to filter the validators by their health status, and the search bar to search for a particular validator in the index. These features are extremely useful if you manage a large index. Below the validator list, you can find the Validator Dashboards. Each validator in the selected index has its own validator dashboard, which displays information about its status and performance. On the left, you can see the validator's yield coupled with an interactive yield chart. Just like the index yield chart above, this chart can be viewed in hourly, daily, or weekly timeframes. However, this chart is unique since it allows you to view time series data for the validator's APR, consensus layer APR, and prior balance report epochs, providing a multi-layer scope for comparative analysis. You can view these data sets separately or simultaneously using the interactive boxes at the bottom of the chart. On the right, you can view the validator's unique details, including the stakehouse it's in, its contract address, total DETH earned, exchange rate, which is its ratio of DETH to save ETH, and current delta. This wraps up our video for today. If you want to learn more about index details, Stakehouse monitoring, or anything else about our project, check out our Help Center and documentation resources at the links in the description below. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.